Wanted to make sure we checked off some trig solving here in 116, a little simplifying. One of our tricks would be to rewrite anything we can into sine and cosine. So if I've got tan, we know that's sine over cosine. Cosecant is 1 over sine. If that's equal to 2, we end up with 1 over cosine equal to 1 over 2. Equal to 2, sorry, which would be cosine equal to 1 over 2. And when is cosine equal to 1/2? That's going to be here at pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3 plus all of our 2 pi n's, of course. Good. Let's look at the next one. This next one is definitely one that is an advanced trig solver. Sine times cosine. So you really can't eliminate anything there. So there's a sneaky little trick based on the math notes box above. If I multiply that 4 over, and I get 4 times sine cosine equal to 1, then I'm getting closer. Now I'm actually going to do some magic. I'm going to make that 4 a 2 times 2 sine cosine equal to 1. Now look at that math notes box. What's 2 times sine cosine? That is the sine of 2x. Now we're there. Now I can say the sine of some angle is equal to 1/2. Now let's keep that as a 2x. So this angle, sine equals 1/2 at pi over 6 and 5 pi over 6. But that's what 2x equals. So x is going to equal pi over 12 and 5 pi over 12. And of course plus 2 pi n. So that sneaky trick of multiplying the 4 over and recognizing another identity is probably what caught you. The next one, 2 sine squared minus cosine minus 1. If possible, we want to get into one function. So taking sine squared and making it 1 minus cosine squared. Then we've got all cosines. So let's start simplifying that guy. And I'll go ahead and put that up here somewhere. 2 minus 2 cosine squared minus cosine minus 1 equals 0. Let's combine some like terms. Negative 2 cosine squared minus cosine plus 1 equals 0. I'm going to multiply by a negative because I like my leading coefficient to be positive. 2 cosine squared plus cosine minus 1 equals 0. And now I've got a factor. I've basically just got my quadratic. 2 cosine, cosine, and let's go plus 1 minus 1. That's going to get me there. So either cosine equals 1/2 or cosine equals -1. Cosine equals 1/2, add again pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. And cosine equals -1 at 3 pi over 2. Big time solving problems there. And then finally the last one, sine over cosine plus cosine over sine equals -2. I think we're going to bow tie that bad boy and call it sine squared plus cosine squared over sine cosine equals -2. What is sine squared plus cosine squared? That, of course, is 1. So now I've got 1 over sine cosine equals -2. Well, let's do our reciprocal, and I think it's going to end up looking a lot like this one right here, isn't it? If I do the reciprocal of both sides, I get sine cosine equals
How you doing?
negative 1/2. And if I multiply the 2 over, I get 2 sine cosine equals negative 1. So sine 2 cosine, so sine 2x equals negative 1. So sine equals negative 1 at, oh yeah, cosine equals negative 1 at pi. My bad up there. That one's at 3 pi over 2. That's what 2x equals. So x equals 3 pi over 4. Definitely some advanced trig solving here. I might come back to this one if I was you once or twice. I'd star that one. Looking for some mastery.